I'm just going to start this episode by saying, Mother, if you're listening to this episode, you're welcome to listen, fine, but I don't want to discuss this episode. My mother loves to listen to my episodes, and I love that she listens to my episodes, but this one episode I don't ever want to talk about. If you want to listen, whatever, but I don't ever want to talk about it. Now that I said that, of course, my mother's going to listen to the whole episode.
Also, hello from me, and hello to my own mom. And same goes for my mom.
Yeah.
And hello to you.
Basically, we're doing a Q&A today, and I asked you to send in like juicy Qs, and you guys made them really juicy. So basically, we got little glasses of Whispering Angel, and we're going to do a what Celia called a
truth or sip.
Truth or sip. Hell yeah.
I said truth and sip.
Truth and
Truth
sip.
or sip.
Truth and sip. Wow, that would be nuts.
That would be wild.
Anyway, I'll take a sip. Anyway, we're going to start with our weekly update. I have a thrilling and anticlimactic update. Let me just fill you in. There's this man I have passed on Raya multiple times. Has he ever liked me back? No. But on Raya, I feel like it's possible to like just not see a profile, genuinely. Although we passed multiple times, which would probably insinuate that he declined. Anyway, I've always thought he was very cute. I showed him to Celia, and Celia knew who he was. And then she was like, I don't know about that. But then we were out this past weekend, and Celia was like, that is the guy you think is so cute. And I was like, oh my God. Then I was like, I am not going to approach him, though. He's welcome to approach me, but there's no way in hell I'm approaching another man. It is 2024. I do not approach men. Whatever. So then let me know what you think, if this is like him approaching me or not.
It was him approaching you. Period.
I really don't know. We were standing in line for the bathroom. There was like a little group in front of us, and then it was us. And he comes up to me. And he came up to me, first of all, I was standing closest to the hall where the bathroom starts, but he was like, is this the line for the bathroom? And then I was like, yeah, crazy, right?
Like, obviously, it's the line for the bathroom. No offense.
Yeah, but basically we had some like really just good back and forth banter, and I was like flirting the hell off. Like, I was doing such a good job at flirting. He was flirting
Yeah, the
back.
banter was there. You were matching the energy,
it was
like
crazy.
So much so. Yeah.
And then I was like, I'll let you, like, he was like, oh, well, I think I'm like not going to wait in this line. Maybe I'll try a bathroom downstairs. So then,
which he didn't, I don't think.
He did not. I actually confirmed he didn't. So then I was like, I'll let you know how the bathroom goes. So then I went up to him. I told him how the bathroom went. And yeah, we had more banter than I introduced myself. And because of Celia, I knew his name. Well, I saw him on the dating app too, but so anyway, I wanted to humble him. So I was like, after like we had our like more chit chat about the update of the bathroom, and the one thing I said, like the first thing I said was like, oh, well, you know, they only had a hand dryer, and he was like, oh my God, the germs, which is just so like, I feel like most
so
men
you
would
coded.
not.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. But anyway, whole point being, I didn't see him for the rest of the night. And so I knew what his Instagram was. It was very easy to find. So I'm just going to read you the DM I sent him. When we introduced ourselves, I was like, he told me his name. And I was like, I'm Callie. And then I was like, oh, what's your name again? Just to humble him a little bit. Because like you have to humble men and make them feel like you do not care. Anyway, the DM I sent him, I talked to you about it on TikTok, but I haven't been able to really read the full DM. So I'm going to read you the full DM right now, because it's like obviously a joke, but I kind of want to unsend it, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to unsend it, but I DM'd him on Sunday Saturday night, basically at 12:11 a.m. I need to know how the bathroom went. I am seriously worried. Obviously it's a joke, but what if he like doesn't?
That's very sweet. He'll obviously know it's a joke.
He has not responded.
He has not seen it.
Part of me wants to just follow him, but then if I was following him,
no.
I know. What if he never sees his DM?
Then he doesn't see
And
it,
it's
and
not
he's
meant to be. Yeah,
Yeah.
so true. Okay, so that's my big update. There was a very cute man. Would love to date him. If you're watching this, I know he's not, but please respond to my DM. Yeah, that's my big update. Other than that, I feel like, yeah, that's my update. All right.
Fun.
Weekly update on your part.
Weekly update. We started an amazing show. It's all I can think about.
Oh, so true.
Apples never
Celia
fall.
loves TV.
I mean, we're watching an episode after this, and you love watching TV with me now.
No, it's just so funny because Celia, like, she recently just became such a TV advocate. Like, she loves... Fanatic. And so, like, when we're watching, like, I feel like typically when you're watching a TV show, like, you kind of sit back, relax. Celia's, like, on the edge of the couch, making commentary every 2 seconds, like, oh, my God, I can't believe, like, you just, I mean, it's very sweet. You just love TV. You do. I've never seen you, since you have developed this TV love, I haven't really seen you in action.
Well, it's been years.
Really?
Yes, we just never watch TV anymore.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah.
That's why it's so comfy living here. Like, I just come over and we watch our show.
Oh, it's the best.
It's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah. We just had dinner together. We eat dinner together every night. It's just so fun. All right. Any other updates on your end?
I mean, great weekend.
Great weekend.
Seriously, great weekend. I can't wait for
it. It was our first weekend out here, and like in WeHo, if you will. We just never were really like meeting men, so we'd kind of just be like a little crazy and weird. But here, we like are actually like, oh my God, there's like actual like
men
cute
are everywhere,
men around.
Men
are everywhere. It is raining men.
It's a great place. Oh.
Yeah, I'm like so excited to go out this weekend.
I can't wait. Anywho, I guess we get into it.
All right, let's get into the Q&A. This is, I mean, seriously, this is my last warning to my mother that if you listen, go ahead, but I do not want to discuss any of these questions. So I'm just going to open up the Q&A. We probably won't be able to get to all of them, but I'm just going to scroll to the bottom and we're going to just start.
You think we could get to all of those? Oh my God.
Yeah, actually, there's no way. First one, most toxic thing you've done to get a guy's attention. I, back in my day, have been a little bit toxic with men. I think we all have. And I think the most toxic thing I've ever done, like this immediately comes to mind, is my freshman year of college. There was this guy who wanted to end things with me. And I kind of was just like, we're not going to end things. And you know what? In my defense, he kept hooking up with me. But basically there would be like times where like he would like not be as responsive, and I was going through one of those times. So one time there was a MRSA outbreak at my school, and I was like 99.9% sure I didn't have MRSA, but I was like, this is such a perfect opportunity to like, go to the hospital and Snapchat him at the hospital. And then of course, and I didn't Snapchat him directly, I put it on my story. And then because we were hooking up and he knew there was a MRSA outbreak, then he was panicking because he was like, oh my God, I probably have MRSA if you have MRSA. Then he had to like, he felt so inclined to message me. He was like, oh my God, are you okay? Because he wanted to know if I had MRSA or not. It worked. But that was probably one of the most toxic things I've done, is gone to the hospital so I could Snapchat.
I don't know if this is toxic, but how I got someone's number. I basically wanted this person's number, and I saw their brother, whom I knew was their brother, very what's the word?
Intoxicated
at the bar. And I, used that to my advantage and had my friend message him the next day and said something along the lines of, oh, it was so great meeting you, because we knew he wouldn't remember at blank. And then said like, oh, my friend has such a crush on your brother. Can we have his number or something like that? And I mean, it worked. And he was like, the number. And he literally was like, oh my gosh, remind me who you are again. He was so nice about it, but hey, it worked.
I didn't know that you guys didn't actually talk to him that night.
Well, we did. That's like a whole other story, but yeah.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah.
Anywho, that's kind of
funny. How long have you gone without communicating with any boys? I mean, like romantically, during the pandemic, I did not speak to literally anyone. I had no romantic communication with any men until I moved back to New York in 2021, like the spring of 2021. And then that's why I fell so hard for that weird as hell man who everyone saw on my TikTok, who then, I don't actually want to bring him up, but yeah.
I just remembered what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Did you say you fell for him?
Well, I didn't. I mean, we had a blast together.
Yeah. That was just a funny way.
Look, we'd drive around in his convertible across the bridge. I had aux. We'd go to dinner. We'd go to brunch. It was like a 5-day love fest.
Fun.
Yeah, and he's weird as hell. But yeah, I like literally probably went like 2 years without any male contact. So, yeah. And I was basically celibate for, I think, almost 3 years.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty celibate right now. I just feel as if it's like to end.
Yeah.
I feel like I've gone through quite a dry spell this past however long, and it's just like
I've been in a dry spell myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've had sex with one person this year. Actually, my mother knows about that if she's listening. I had sex
Are you
with
just thinking about her this whole time?
just know what she's gonna say. Well, I know she's gonna be eating this up.
Mm-hmm.
I had sex with one person this year, and they are no longer straight. So yeah, that's the one person I've had sex with this year. So I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, and have you hooked up with anyone this year?
I knew you were gonna say that. Think about our neighbor.
Oh, of course. Oh my gosh, you've had less of a dry spell than me.
Yeah, I know. Oh.
Celia, this is so crazy. This
Yeah.
guy that she had sex with now lives right down the street from us. I mean, we moved into
Doesn't
his
know.
neighborhood.
Okay, so yeah, imagine this. We live not like that close to our current neighborhood. When we were in WeHo, it's not that close.
Yeah.
And he got my Ubers. He knows my address in WeHo. And I would like always say how much I loved his neighborhood. Turns out I am his neighbor now, and he does not know, but it's fine. It's all good. And like,
and I am like, yeah. I just think it'd be so great if he knew, because then what if we needed a man to like in the middle of the night?
he is a great man.
Like
to
what
have
if we
around.
were in an emergency, he would be here.
Yeah, and he's in the medical field. He's very knowledgeable about these
And
things.
I'm a hypochondriac, so I'm like, please.
But it was so funny because when she first sent me our like current address to like look at, I was like, oh, this looks amazing. Like obviously the property looked amazing, and then I was like, blank lives, in that area. Let me see how far we are from him. I type it into my Google Maps. I'm not kidding you. I don't know why it was like this, but it showed as if he was our back door neighbor, like that our houses were quite literally touching and we were just separated by a fence.
He is pretty close.
Thankfully, he's like a block away
yeah.
at most. I mean, back door, that'd be a lot. Like I would not
like
feel
if he was like,
like literally
that
fence.
would be nuts.
Yeah.
That would be nuts.
Anywho. And
That's
at that
funny.
point, I was like, I don't know if this is like stalkerish if I am his fence neighbor. Luckily, I'm not, so totally worked out.
Craziest thing a man has asked for in bed. So this actually was not in bed, it was in the back of a car. But in high school, this guy I was hooking up with like started like getting really emotional in the back of the car and like just telling me how much he wanted me to put my thumb up his butt.
This guy you were hooking up with?
Well, I just don't want to like make him feel so satisfied that I'm talking about him.
True.
It was my ex-boyfriend.
Sorry. That was just a funny way of putting it. Sorry.
Anyway, yeah, he asked me to put my thumb up his butt, and then he started crying, and then he kind of like directed my thumb.
Does your mom know this?
No, and I hope she doesn't. Thank you for bringing that up. So, that's mine.
That vividly. I don't even know how to comfortably say this. But
Just say it, please.
What if it's a normal thing? It's not.
It's not. I've never, ever encountered this.
Yes, a high school boyfriend, if you will. He basically, so granted, in high school, I was very new to sexual experiences, and I didn't really know exactly what guys liked, etc. And he was my second serious boyfriend, and let's just say that my first serious boyfriend did not ever bring this up.
Yeah.
So that was really all my knowledge to go off of, and he told me, and by the way, he had the tiniest, you know what? I mean, tiny. So yeah, not even like to be rude, because
it's a grower,
No,
not a
chameleon.
shower. I think
Grower,
that's what they
not a
call
shower.
it. Yeah.
This is perverse. Anyway, so basically, if you squeezed it really hard, it became huge. And this sounds not real, and I'm gonna tell my mom she's not allowed to listen to this starting now.
You have to like. It sounds real. You have to like. You had to like literally.
This is like comical, but I'm not even joking. Like it turned into nothing to this huge thing, and I don't know how it happened.
And you had to like squeeze it so hard.
And then after, I'm like, is this normal? I think that like after we broke up, I feel like I did that to someone, and they were like, what? Like it was a very weird situation. It's comical, but I mean, to each their own.
Yeah, seriously, to each their own.
But that was like something I've only encountered once.
Yeah, I've never encountered that.
And it really worked. That's the craziest thing. It was like actually crazy.
He knows his body. Is it like a BDSM thing?
Oh, you think? But but it was never anything.
But
else
it's like pain. That's what
Ew,
gets him going.
You think?
Don't say ew,
Actually,
bro.
I
Don't
knew you were
shame
gonna say that.
anyone.
I literally knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
But only because I don't think that was what it was for him. You
don't
do?
know.
Oh,
Well,
my
that
mind's
sounds
blown.
painful. Like, yeah, I think so. And I think maybe if you dated longer, he would have opened up more.
So true.
Yeah. I don't know. How to get over the shame of hooking up with someone you regret. Oh my God. I mean, imagine hooking up with someone you regret. Oh, wait, no, we didn't hook up, actually. I was going to talk about. Basically, I know I keep bringing this up, but it was the most humiliating time in my life is when I posted that stupid.
Haven't you hooked up?
We hooked up in the past. Basically, when I posted that stupid TikTok with that guy who ghosted me, we didn't hook up that night, but then everyone saw and knew we had hooked up. So that was humiliating. And then I made out with him in a club, and the girl who worked at like the front desk who brought us to our table like followed me. So if you're listening to this, hi, and thank you for never saying anywhere that you saw me making out with this freaky as hell man in a club. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I made out with him in front of like so many people in a club. And I actually did not leave my apartment for days. But here's the thing. At the time, you were having fun, right? Or you weren't, but you did it. I'm assuming you enjoyed yourself during the time being. And just like let it slide. Things happen. I mean, I've hooked up with so many weird people, like so many weird people. And you just move on. Seriously.
It all helps you like
Yeah.
gain more experience, whatever you need. Time heals all.
Time does heal all.
Even if you cringe, someday you won't.
Yeah, exactly. You're really good at not cringing.
I know.
Like so good.
But I mean, time.
Yeah. What's the biggest fight you two have been in? I know. What for me, what comes to mind is when I visited you in Italy.
Mm-hmm. Why are we choosing this topic?
It was a question.
Oh no, I know.
You want a sip?
Sure.
Or do you want to answer?
Oh,
No, we're not really playing the truth or sip well.
I know. I'm just trying to think. I mean, yeah, for me that also feels the biggest. There was also other big ones.
There were big ones. We've gotten
yes.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just sip.
Yeah, I guess I'll just sip too, because if I describe it, then people are gonna be like people are gonna take sides, and I don't want anyone taking sides on our past fights from 7 years ago.
Cheers to that.
Well, we can't cheers. We've already sipped.
That's why I just raised my glass. Yeah.
Okay, avoiding the Reddit screen recording for that one. How do your taste in men differ?
Fun question.
We definitely have very different tastes in men, which is great.
Yeah.
Because as best friends, that would be a shame. Although I did just match with a guy on Hinge, and then Celia was like, "Oh, I matched with him."
It happens.
It does happen. Also, slim pickings.
I was just gonna say, like, we see all the same people. The fact that it rarely happens. You know what I mean?
I
don't know how to describe it. It's just different.
Well, I feel like you like more of like a jock, preppy boy.
Yeah. I mean, we both have this is the thing. We both have the same like qualities and morals that we want in a man.
Yeah, just different style.
It's just the like physical aesthetic maybe is different.
I like a street style, I think, more, and you like more of like a sport guy, I think.
I don't want to say like clean cuts.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
Yeah.
New England.
Yeah. You're like a New England man. Yeah. So I guess
not always.
Not always, yeah.
That was probably the wrong term. But like,
yeah,
I don't know how to describe it. Just different. You like a more edgy.
I love an edgy man.
Edgy, artsy guy.
Yeah, it always gets me into trouble. What's something you have never admitted online?
Endless for me.
I feel like I admit a lot online. What is something I've never admitted online? Like I would say last week's episode, but that was humiliating. Something I've never admitted online. I feel like I'm gonna have to sip for that one just because I feel like I tell you everything. I can't think of anything that I haven't told you, which maybe that's a problem in itself, but we're besties. Why would I not tell you everything? I love to overshare. Actually, I just posted a TikTok of things my ex did and I still stayed, and people were like, you couldn't waterboard this information out of me. Like, why are you telling people this? And I'm like, I don't know. Just like to share.
You do love to share.
Okay. Oh my gosh, what a great question. What is something you have realized this month? Not like a juicy cue, but a great one. Because I realized this month, sometimes, and I talked about this on the last episode a lot, but sometimes at the end of the day, Like, men are not responding to you because they're too scared and they're just like so in love with you they can't respond. Sometimes they're not responding to you because they literally just do not care about you.
So true.
Like, sometimes
that was also my realization.
Yeah.
Because it hits so hard.
It hits so hard.
Yeah.
Like, I love to be like, oh my gosh, like, he's just so scared because or intimidated and he just like likes me so much. But like, no, at the end of the day, like, sometimes they just do not like you.
Period. Okay,
Yeah.
Next.
Oh God, that one hits hard. That one hits hard.
Too hard,
I still
honestly.
like never am gonna fully be able to believe
I was just
it.
gonna say sometimes it still lingers. Like, oh, maybe they did. No.
Yeah. Have you ever had a mean girl experience with a popular influencer? Okay, this is interesting timing. This is my one bad experience I've ever had with a popular influencer. It was at an event, and we were all kind of like collectively as a group like going around being like, oh, like the algorithm sucks, like I feel like I'm kind of in a rut right now, and everyone was like agreeing like, yeah, like I feel like I'm in a rut. And then this girl goes, really? Like all of my videos have just been doing so well, like all my videos get so many views and so many likes. And like, you know what, even if that's true, like that's great, but like come on, like read the room. Yeah. And then I was later talking like specifically to her, and I was like, oh, I just moved to LA, like, and I'm just feeling like because I moved here, like I was getting really insecure about the fact that like my videos weren't doing as well, because like when this is your full-time job, it sounds so stupid, but like likes, seriously, like maybe that's something I've never been online. Like I like really value myself and the amount of likes and views I get, and that's like really not healthy. I need to get a therapist, but that's just the truth. And anyway, I was like talking to her about how I just feel like my views have been down, and she goes, look, here's the thing. If you really, really want to keep your views up, you need to have a cult following. Like me. I have a cult following, and my followers actually care about me.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I was like, that's okay. Crazy. And yeah. That was my experience with an influencer that was negative. Like, really my only, like, negative one. You have one?
Not really, no.
Best Suffolk experience for me was probably just like our senior year in general. It was so fun. Celia and I were like insane.
We were on top of the world senior year because really nothing mattered, and that's the only time of our lives that will ever be that way.
Oh my God! First of all, we didn't have to worry about like anything.
Although I will say the homie like so comforting feeling. It's come.
We're gonna look back on this, yeah. But we lived together, and basically in Boston, like there are like two clubs we would go to, the Grand and Bijou. And whenever anyone made an appearance, either of them, we would just go.
We would be there. I mean, we'd be going out 5 nights a week, 6 nights.
And it was just so fun.
And
we had no cares in the world.
That's so great is that it's very easy once you start going to these places. You see the same people. We met people that worked there, and like it was very then easy to become part of the social scene. Yeah, which I feel like because it's a small city.
I feel like we didn't really feel like we were part of the social scene until our senior year.
Oh, 100%.
Like
we
at
didn't
all.
Really go out.
Yeah, and like we've never really had like a big group of friends, and we never were like I feel like we didn't feel like we had access to the social scene until we did.
Right, and
so then we felt so cool.
Full force.
Yeah, yeah. So
I mean,
true.
it was just a blast of a year. Yeah, truly.
Have you guys done butt activities? I'm gonna answer this question and hope my mom is not listening. 3 times with 3 different men, all to try to save the relationship. The first time was in high school.
Okay.
And he was like, we're gonna. Really? Yeah, and
How did I not remember that?
He was like, look, like I don't trust you anymore.
You know what I always say?
What?
Mom, please don't be listening. Oh.
Just say it.
I always, because I'm terrified, I always say that's something I'm saving for marriage because I'm too terrified.
Yeah, I've had it with 3 different men. One time was in high school, one time was freshman year of college, one time was sophomore year of college. And like some people love it. Like I have a friend who loves it. I don't.
Who?
I'm not going to say who.
I'm just curious.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Just feel like I don't want to air her own business out on this episode. Like that's so crazy. But I personally feel like it feels like you're taking like a backwards poop. If I'm being honest. I feel like with the most recent time I did it with like my last ex-boyfriend, we were able to like get past the point where it felt like that, but it still never like was enjoyable. Do you know what I mean? And then it's kind of like why, yeah. It's just not, if neither person's into it, what's the point? And even he was like, oh, like, I actually kind of just like having regular sex. And I was like, yeah, same. Maybe we can just stick to that. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Pain.
What about you?
I already answered.
You didn't answer. Oh, you did. You said, yeah.
I always
you're
say
saving
that.
till marriage. Yeah.
I'm terrified.
I knew that. I was just, yeah.
And then, you know what sucks about that, though? It's like, yeah, I say this to every guy I date, and then, you know, my husband, when we get married, are they going to expect that on our wedding night?
No, that's outrageous.
I'm joking, but, like, that's what I've always thought about when I said it, because that would be such a wedding night ruiner.
My husband is not getting that. I'm never doing it again. Genuinely.
Oh, then maybe I'll just...
Like, actually, my most recent ex, we got in a huge fight, and he went to the quote-unquote gym, which never went to the gym, and he was cheating on me because he knew I had had anal sex with another guy, and then he wanted to do it with me, and I was like, no. And then he was like, oh, I just feel like my mom is listening. Because I know she is.
Because she is, yeah.
Hello, mother. Anyway.
Oh, my gosh. I'm telling my mom, you are not allowed to listen to this. I mean, seriously. Although I guess I can't really control her.
If you say that, she's going to listen.
Will she, though?
Anyway, we got in a huge fight because I wouldn't have anal with him. And he was like, you've had anal with like your ex-boyfriends. Why don't you do it with me? And I was like, I don't like it.
You're not going to like this, but I feel like in that perspective, I would be sad, too. I mean, like, I'm sorry, I'm just saying, like, if your boyfriend had bragged that he had done these with other people and then wouldn't do something with you.
Okay, well, let's not stick up for him.
I don't even know who you're talking about, genuinely.
My most recent ex.
He
did not mean it. He wasn't sad. He was like
manipulative.
Yeah. Have you guys ever thought about a threesome? I'm not creepy bestie. You said juicy. If my mom is listening to this podcast right now, this is the time where you sign off. Which of course now.
How many times have you said that?
This is something I never really thought I would discuss anywhere. I actually, after this happened, this was pretty recent. This was in like...
I'll never forget the day after this happened.
Yeah, this was in like July.
We went to Laguna.
Oh, we did go to Laguna.
We were just sitting there and I did not know how to react because you were, yeah.
I've had a threesome, a menage a trois, if you will, one time in my life. It was pretty unexpected and not like a... Yeah, I knew we were going to have, I had a text message saying we were going to have a party night. Did we want to have fun? And that he wanted to marry me. And I was like, okay, go to his house. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty details, but.
We all know who this is about, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Look, yeah. I mean, we menage a trois one time. But it was like, for me, I was like, oh my God, this is like a step up in our relationship, which to him it was. I mean,
Girl, I'm gonna marry you.
He told me he was going to marry me. Yeah, he was thrilled. Yeah, we had a threesome one time with someone. I don't want to like, I don't want to spill the beans. I don't want to air out his business. Although I feel like he could care less actually, but.
All right, I haven't. Next question.
Yeah, I think that's where we cut it off. Yeah, next question.
Would you ever have a threesome with a boyfriend? Because that's just something I could never do.
I will never have a threesome again.
Yeah.
It's just like it's not my thing.
Yeah.
To be honest. It's like a one and done for me.
But like with a boyfriend and like another female, I could
No way in hell. Female, male, no way. Bestie, I said I love you to a one night stand while hooking up. Please give your advice.
Oh,
That's
I have
so
something
us.
to say.
Yeah.
That's so me coded, but this guy, my most serious boyfriend ever, actually said I love you the very first night that I slept over. And then he made this whole thing, like he said elephant poo, so we used to say that to each other. Actually, to be fair, the high school boyfriend also did. He said, and then I said I love tomatoes. It was something
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then we like said I love tomatoes until we said I love you, but I feel like it happens.
That's it just happens. If you're feeling it happens.
I mean, obviously you say I don't cringe, I would cringe, I'm not going to lie, but it happens.
It happens.
To the best of us.
I mean, I left a man a voicemail saying I love you.
I wish you had that voicemail.
I don't, because I just don't want to hear it. But he ghosted me. I told him I loved him, and then
also
accused him of giving me chlamydia.
I mean, obviously you don't actually genuinely love him after one hookup.
Oh, you might.
Love.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, like I was gonna say, is sorry you had feelings. Like,
Yeah,
at least
literally.
you're capable of feelings.
That's
and
how
if
I
someone's
feel
gonna
about
shame you for that, then
exactly. And
shame
to
on
refer
them.
back to our last episode, like, sorry we are
Care.
so capable of love and care.
Yeah, seriously.
My God,
I wouldn't sweat it.
what a
It's
crime.
just
Yeah,
gonna be a
don't
funny
sweat
story
it.
in a month or two.
How to stop being delulu when it comes to a guy. I think we kind of already answered this, but
Oh, babe, go to episode 1 with me.
yeah, which is last episode.
Yeah.
Look, I am so delusional. And I said this earlier, like, I'm always like, oh, they care about me so much. They don't. If they did, they would care. They would show you they cared. They do not care.
I think, honestly, a really good way to put this into perspective, and this is kind of harsh, but honestly true. If you think about, for example, you text them and they're not answering, like, roles reverse it and see how you would react to something that they did, and that's kind of a good way to tell if they care or not.
Well, that's what I was saying this past weekend when I was talking to this guy from law school, and, like, he will admit, like, he's always going to be in love with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I realized, like, whoa, he's in love with me, but I'm never going to feel that way about him ever. Advice for accepting eras of loneliness in college. I can't stop comparing. Also, Illy. Love you, bestie. I feel like I've gone through so many periods, not just in college, but in life, where, like, I'm so lonely. Like, for example, actually, Celia went abroad. Not your fault, but you went abroad when I went through a breakup, and it was my junior year, and I had, like, honestly, like, this is no shade to you.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's more just, like, and I think you feel the same way, like, I've never had, like, a big group of friends. Like, I feel like in college it's expected to have, like, this big group of girls you're friends with, and, like, you all go out, and it's just, like, crazy party girls, and, like, I've never had that.
Yeah, that's such a romanticized version
Yeah.
of college, and my sister's, like, also dealt with that a little. I'm like, that's not really realistic.
Yeah.
Like, you have way more friends than I ever did.
Yeah. No, like, I've never had, like, a big
Me
group of
neither.
friends, and,
Yeah.
like, I feel insecure with that all the time, but then I'm like,
The friends you have are so solid.
yeah.
Not to toot my own horn, I'm talking about all your friends, but, like, that's
No.
what really matters at the end of the day, is that you actually have people that do care about you.
Exactly. And during the pandemic, I was, like, the loneliest I've ever been. I was, like, at home, my parents' house, by myself. Like, you were in New York still, and, like,
Only at the end, but yeah, during that time,
yeah. And, like, I just, like, it was the best time ever for me because, and then when I went back to New York, I was so lonely too. And it was so good for me because I got so comfortable with just hanging out with myself. So start trying to, like, romanticize just, like, nights alone. Like, I spent so much time alone, and I'm
a night
so
alone.
yeah. Like, you just have to,
Live
like,
for it.
think about yourself as your own best friend. Like, you can do whatever the hell you want. Seriously, it's, like, amazing.
And I feel like at the end of the day, like, this is gonna sound very, like, parental, but you're at school for your education.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like, people want this crazy experience, but, like, you're gonna look back and, like, remember the fun things as well.
Very, very true.
And, like, it doesn't have to be, like, some crazy college movie partying all the time.
And
Like,
that's just
probably not productive.
That's just not real either.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I'm
don't feel
saying.
bad about yourself, you know? What are your thoughts on your boyfriend's following, liking girls' pics? Oh my God.
We discussed this. Can I bring up my such?
Yeah, I don't remember what you.
First, but
Oh no, you can go first.
we were discussing this the other day because this guy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So neither of us have dated someone, like, properly, fully dated someone when the like feature on stories has been around.
Oh yes.
And
So true.
I never even thought about this until this was happening to me. So this guy I had seen on Raya, and I thought he was cute a long time ago. And then I forget exactly how it came about, but I was checking my requests, which I don't really check that often, and I saw he had messaged me, like,
I hope
3
that's
months
like what this
prior.
guy is like. Oh, I don't check my requests often.
I mean, I really
The
genuinely
man I
don't.
DM'd.
Yeah. I know.
So I'm like, should I follow him? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it's very possible. And it will be really good when he does, because it will be the same for me. Like, I was so pleasantly surprised because I
Yeah.
had, like, seen this guy and thought he was
Sorry
so
to
cute.
interrupt. Anyway,
No.
just was like,
I mean, so true. But
so
yeah, I thought he was so cute. And then I don't think we ever even connected on Raya. Or we did, but, like, no one messaged each
you
other.
never connected.
Isn't that what it's called?
I think it's matched. You connected.
No, it's a connection.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's just like you sound like
It's like
you
hooking up.
LinkedIn. Like, oh, we've never.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's actually called connection. Also, I love how if you're on YouTube, we've progressively just laid down. Anyway,
Yeah.
long story short, he messaged me like 3 months after we had matched, I guess, per se, on Raya. And so obviously I responded to his DM, and I remember like he was so responsive, but like we were going out that weekend a couple times, and I like mentioned where, and like he always had some excuse as to why he couldn't, but he was like so responsive and like asking him all about it, whatever. And then he's like constantly hearting my stories on Instagram, which new feature unlocked.
Terrible.
And this just makes me sick to my stomach, because I went back and looked after I found out, because he hasn't liked any of my photos, I don't think. But he likes like literally at least one story a day of random things too. Like random.
Which is even worse.
And then I see on Valentine's Day that he posts that he has a girlfriend. So yeah, then I go to her page and she's posting him all the time. And like when I mean, this is just disgusting. But when I remember like when I showed you like would I like him or not, because he seems to post with like these girls a lot, it was his girlfriend. But it didn't seem apparent whatsoever.
No, it didn't at all. It seemed like they were, because
Like
he hangs with a lot of girls.
Yeah, but I mean that is just so disturbing. So I removed him as a follower and unfollowed him. But that's just like really disturbing, and I don't even remember the question, but I hope a man never liking,
because
you can't see obviously when they like someone's story. And that obviously, like, to me, I noticed that he always liked my stories, so then he was on my radar kind of, you know.
My most recent ex,
like, to a girl it means something.
Yeah, of course. My most recent ex, which was 4 years ago, who texted me recently,
and he's just chilling.
I know. He used to always, and I didn't realize it was a universal experience until I posted a TT about it. Everyone was like, oh my God, like my boyfriend does this too. He would always be liking other girls' photos, like all the time, like bikini photos, like everything. And I got like obsessive over it, where I'd go through his following and then like see girls he was following, check their profile, and he'd like their photos. I'd be like, what the hell? And then he would always be like, I don't even think when I'm scrolling, I just like everyone's photo. And like I believed him until like I saw another TikTok about that, and then so like I realized like, whoa. And then I posted a TikTok about it, and I guess like every guy says that. Apparently every guy says like, oh, I'm not even thinking about it. It's like everyone's photos.
You know what I hate?
What?
Basically, to a man it's harmless, but they know. No,
it's not harmless.
Pardon my language. That of a woman. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm so passionate about this, but TMI, too far.
No, that was just funny.
Basically, like, obviously, if you're liking photos, stories, whatever it may be,
there's a reason.
Something to a woman. Just don't like it. If you, like, I don't know.
Don't like it.
And like, I'd love to say I'm like a chill girl, but if you see like all the,
well, it also is just like embarrassing. Like if your boyfriend is liking a bikini photo of someone else, like that's embarrassing for you.
Unnecessary.
Like it makes you feel like, I would always feel so embarrassed when he was like, because then I was like, and he wouldn't let us me post about our relationship. So it's like,
it's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot, especially.
Okay, I think this is
next question.
Something I regret. Last weekend, I regret not asking for that man's number. Why didn't I just say, what's your number?
I know.
Like, why didn't I? That's
something
my regret.
Yeah.
Should I follow him? No.
Not yet.
Just like, what the hell?
I do regret giving this man so much time of day that I sent him that text message, but I don't regret it because, like,
I think that was so great you sent it.
Yeah, I just can't think of anything top of mind.
Yeah. Do I regret anything else right now?
I mean, lots of things I regret in life. But
yeah, same. Worst hangover.
Easy. Day you move out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Terrible. I don't even have the energy to tell that story.
Yeah, you can't. You just told it on live. It's too
I just told it on live.
Basically, we were moving Callie out the day after my birthday when she basically was locked out of her apartment and had these
all night wandering around New York and almost got kidnapped.
And then, like, it wasn't like one of those things where it was like ready to go, packed up. It was like, let's move everything in a couple of hours.
We were like sort of severely hungover. I almost was kidnapped and murdered the night before, like, not joking. And I didn't have keys or a phone or a purse, and I had to call a guy to get borrow my dad's truck to get a new key for it was just,
I would just say any hangover is terrible as well.
No, but that one was
Terrible.
And then we were driving, and was like, I'm really claustrophobic, so we had to drive through a tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like freaking the hell
She
out.
was having a panic attack.
I was having a full panic attack. I was like, I need to pull over. Yeah, and there's nowhere to pull over in like the tunnels in New York. So Celia was like, what's your favorite tea? I was like, mint.
It did work.
No, it worked so well.
I was like, mint. So true.
Yeah. What does Celia do job-wise? That's one just for you.
Just for me? You can't. Well, you have to sip then.
Oh, yeah, I'll sip. Well, I think I finished.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, let me get on that level.
But
I am a wardrobe stylist, and I moved to LA and was assisting a celebrity stylist for like this past year and a bit.
Over a year.
Maeve Riley, and I started as an intern, and I recently pivoted to just styling at Revolve, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Like pivoted out of celebrity to styling. Yeah.
And it's so fun.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like in that, like I've learned so much in the past 2 years.
Yeah. You've come so far in the past years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, I can't even believe it. Can we hear a little bit of Celia's perspective of your struggle with drugs in high school? We were talking about
Why are these questions all for me?
We were talking about this at dinner. And, like, I mean, you can answer.
This is probably going to sound like a little effed up. But I just wasn't worried because it's very, very weird to explain / remember, because in high school, especially like junior and senior year, Callie was my best friend, and it felt as if we did everything together. So I'm like, well, I guess I had a boyfriend. That's where I'm like, where was she when she was doing this? Because she had her own little life where she did those sorts of things.
Yeah.
We hung out all the time together, and then I guess I had my own little life. It never really felt like that, but I was never really worried because it never really seemed to be an issue.
Yeah, and
Even
it really
it wasn't a massive issue, but
it
massive
wasn't
things were happening. I guess. I don't know.
Massive things were happening, and I did massive drugs.
I'm not like trying to undermine this,
but like
your situation, but I just wasn't around it.
Well, but it's also
almost every day.
Yeah.
Just not during those times, like when you'd be with boyfriend or at party.
Yeah.
So I guess it was like, but it never compromised who you were.
No.
To me.
No.
At least.
Yeah. And for me, I think like in high school, I obviously was doing a ton of drugs because I was like not happy. And I will say to you, obviously you know this, but I just feel like you and my parents, but like got me out of that because you're just my positive little.
I guess actually that would
like,
be
seriously, like you were just always. I think the fact that like I feel like I had a lot of other people that I was friends with like kind of like leave my side when I was being crazy, and you never would. Like you were just always there, and you never made it feel like it was a big deal, and that I'm like so grateful for because I just like knew I always had you.
Well, I love you, and likewise.
Yeah, I love you too.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I guess what I was really grateful for was when we both transferred, because that's the only time that it seemed pretty bad. Actually, was your freshman year. You just seemed so sad.
Oh, my freshman year was like, I mean
she was. She didn't see what she was, but like that's when I was like,
I was so depressed that I ended my stay at school in the hospital to go home early.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like, this is what I mean when I say it, I just knew you'd always be okay, kind of. And that's a really naive perspective to have.
No,
obviously.
but like we always like through life, like we always know each other like are going to be okay. Yeah. Like we talked about this the other day. Like we know we're gonna be fine, and I feel like it's because we are very in tune with each other.
Yeah, and also this is gonna sound so corny, and I don't even know if I need to go here, but it's kind of like,
just go there.
I'll always have you.
Yeah, I said this the other day.
It's so wild because, I mean, there are things that I will never recover from that have happened in my life, but knowing that I have you is kind of just like a grounding force. And I know that sounds really stupid, but it's like, you're going to know everything that goes on.
Yeah.
Too emotional, I guess.
Yeah, no, but I was even just like, no matter what happens, we always have each other. Like at the end of the day, nothing's that serious because we have each other and we live on the same property.
Period.
I love saying we live on the same property.
I know.
Okay, we're going to do one more question because I think this episode's like long as hell.
That was a great closer.
Was that a great closer?
I mean, let's do one more bonus question. I haven't finished my drink. You've been telling more truth.
I know. I guess we didn't really play truth or sip.
And sipped. I predicted it. Forecast.
Oh, I think that you could relate to this one.
What?
I'm not saying this like. Let me know if you want to answer this one. How to get over call anxiety. It's severe for me, and the guy like wants to call me. You get really anxious when guys call you.
Of course, I get anxious when they call.
Yeah.
Or FaceTime.
Yeah.
How to get over it? This is gonna be controversial. I'm not gonna say it.
Just say it. I know what you're gonna say.
Have a drink.
Yeah.
But if you don't partake in drinking or are under 21, you just have. Oh, I don't know. I get really anxious about this stuff. To be honest, like
she won't
anything I
answer
say
the
is
phone.
BS.
Like she literally will not answer the phone.
I ignore calls. I
I get really nervous too, but I feel like you get really nervous.
No, you're really. I admire that you can just pick it up.
Yeah.
I get really nervous.
But you always eventually call back.
So true. And it's like phone tag. Ugh, the worst.
Yeah.
The worst. Oh, that can't be our closer.
No, that can't be our closer.
Do a few more. I'm having fun.
Yeah, me too. I just want it to be like so long.
Yeah, true. Also, are you annoyed that we're laying down?
Yeah, let us know.
No, I'm actually kind of feeling bad, but it's just we started Pilates again this week.
And we're really sore.
I tell you,
Is that
you
just wanted to say that to tell people we started Pilates?
No, I didn't. I did not. I'm just being completely honest. I'm sore as you know what.
When the SD card went out and I had to like delete like stuff so that we had room to keep recording, so he was like,
okay,
oh, I didn't get to mention we went to Pilates.
This is a huge update because I used to go to Pilates 3 to 4 times a week and I was actually healthy. I have not done exercise in over a year. Essentially, well, that's such a lie.
That's such a lie.
Months and months, and I haven't been like actually healthy in over a year. Yeah. And let's just say we've both been like needing to, like, this is just,
oh my gosh, yeah.
It's such a great feeling, especially like entering spring and summer, like getting into a routine of walking, going to Pilates. Yeah. Like our dinners together. I don't know, I'm just really excited about it.
Me too.
That's what I meant to say.
No, yeah, me too.
Like it feels exciting and something to work towards, like to get strong again, I guess. I don't know. I
agree. Has a close friend.
Can you tell what happened? Or is it TMI?
What?
The DM?
Oh.
This
yeah,
is
sure.
No, it's just
I feel like embarrassed. So
I mean, it was clearly coming from a good place. It was just like a little like, wow.
Don't tickle me, please.
Tickle you.
I swear to God, I'm very comfortable. So we went to Pilates and I like I've done Pilates mat, but I've never done reformer Pilates, and so like I didn't even tell you actually this part either, but like I don't know how to do anything, and then
obviously how would you?
Yeah, and then she like had to keep coming up and correcting me, obviously.
But that's what happens.
I know, but what I'm most embarrassed about that I like haven't been able to talk about until right now. Yeah, I farted and it like didn't make a sound, but it smelled, and then she came over and corrected me, and I was like, oh my God. And then the next morning,
why didn't you tell me that?
I don't know, because I didn't want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
It was
fair.
Yeah, just I didn't want to talk about it. I'm talking about it now. I thought you knew. To be honest, you were right next to me.
I had no idea.
That makes me feel better.
I was so focused on my own self. I was struggling so much.
But the instructor messaged me the next day, and she follows me, so now I'm like embarrassed that someone who
she was like, stick with it, which is very kind.
No, it was a very sweet message. I'm just embarrassed.
Very kind, but obviously like when you don't really know the moves,
and like I farted. Yeah. Most down bad you've ever been.
That one, and I'm scared. I guess I could do my other summer one.
Yeah.
That was 7 years.
Oh yes, perfect. Do it.
I mean, would this count as most down bad?
Yes, that's the most down bad you've ever been.
Because this is the thing about me.
Would that count? Of course that would count.
Of course it would. So I'm not like trying to be really annoying by saying this, but every relationship I've been in, I have essentially broken up with them. Or as you love to point out about my high school, he broke up with me, but then he was like immediately regretting it and begging for it back. Yeah. But like I made the decision that I wanted it to end.
Good for you.
No, I'm just saying like
if that makes you feel self-conscious, I've been broken up every time.
Okay. Well, my sister calls me, she's calling me right now actually, but she calls me a heartbreaker because
you are a heartbreaker.
That has happened in every
Well, you're just a very strong woman. Seriously. I don't know how you are just so.
You were just tuning my horn. Anyway.
Well, no, but seriously, you just do not give a you know what.
Well,
You
thank
just
you
are
for
like.
that. But when it comes to situationships,
that
that rule does not apply. I would say like the 2 times that my heart has felt the most broken from a boy, like from a relationship, would be my 2 situationships.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, same.
I mean, other ones like breakups have obviously felt heartbroken because that person's your best friend, like they're like family at that point. You've been through so much, but it's not the same feeling as heartbroken.
Yeah.
Over a different, it's just different.
Well,
Anyway.
because it's like the expectation.
Oh my gosh, she's calling both of us now.
Yeah.
Britta, I love you if you're listening.
We'll answer in 2 seconds. We're almost done.
Anyhow, so basically, most down bad I've ever been. I liked a summer romance for 7 summers. Also, coincidentally, there is a Morgan Wallen song called 7 Summers, which I put on my story several times, and it's about a summer romance. And
you should have tagged him.
I mean, all of his like friends, cousins, etc. viewed it, which they usually don't, so they probably got the hints. I don't really know what else to say about that other than I was down bad.
Yeah, you were down bad.
When I went abroad, and I studied in Italy for a semester, I mean, we spoke every single day.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? And that's the funny thing about situationships. When you are distanced, when you're not available to date,
then they want to talk.
They're all over you.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Of course. Remember that time when I was like, I'm completely over him, and then he texted me. I was going to feel no ways, and I was like, I'm done. Like, they can feel the energy.
So true. It's crazy.
I've been down bad like a million times.
I think this most recent was the most.
Oh, yeah. The most recent situation, that's humiliating.
But it's, again, a situationship.
It was a situationship.
Because it's like, you
it
feel
wasn't
weird
even
that you're even heartbroken over it, but like, it's the potential of what it could have been.
Yeah.
And never actually coming into formation that you're like,
I like
fruition, not formation. My mom's gonna totally criticize me for that.
I wanted to say this is just Celia. Like she likes. Look, I love to flex the fact that I've had a menage a trois before, so I wanted to say the most down bad I've ever been is when I menage a trois.
They meant down bad over a man.
Yes, and I was down bad over a man.
Oh, you were so down bad that you menage a trois?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to bring up the fact that I menage a trois again.
All right, everyone, in case you didn't know, she menage a trois. And that's all.
I mean, that was down bad. I mean, I would never menage a trois. Well, not like I would never, but like...
You would, too, for a boyfriend. Are you kidding? No, I shouldn't have said those words out of my mouth there from
fine.
You. But
yeah.
No, I agree. It was all like...
I'm proud it's on my resume.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I
don't know. But yeah, the most down bad I've ever been is this most recent guy, which is humiliating because he could care less about me. But I was like so down bad that I almost ruined my entire career over him.
But you didn't.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap.
Came pretty close. Yeah, that's a wrap. Okay, I'm going to... Oh my God, I'm so sore.
I know. Oh, my abs.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Looney,
what's the most down bad you've ever been? Okay.
Aww.
Okay.
I can't wait for next week to talk to you.
I know. Again. Send us DMs and let us know what you want next week's podcast to be about. We're going to go watch Apples Never Fall.
Oh my God, I'm so
excited.
Wait, I was saying this concept the other day. Oh, actually, it was on one of your lives. I thought it was just to you in real life. Well, obviously that's in real life, but I thought it was just to you.
Yeah.
Where almost as if like Callie always talks about a book club. What if we had a TV club?
Well, I want a book club too.
What if we all watched, I mean, technically it's a book too, but what if we all watched Apples Never Fall and then we talked about it?
I mean, that would be a blast.
I mean, if you watched it, it would be like so fun to discuss.
Yeah, but we also need a book club.
So true. Yeah.
We need both, a book and a TV club.
Also,
maybe we should just start reading books and then recreating and reenacting them on film.
We could even do like, that could be our live show.
Yes. We could reenact Big Little Lies, just the two of us.
Oh, please. Please. I know you'd be Reese. And I'd be so jealous.
Oh, I'd be thrilled to be Reese.
Okay,
no, but you'd be Nicole Kidman. Yeah,
okay.
of course.
Deal.
Yeah. But
what?
We could have Britta play someone too.
She'd so be Shailene Woodley. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, so true.
To a T.
So true.
All right. Anyhow.
We could have the boys play all the men.
I knew you were going to say that. If you haven't watched Apples Never Fall, Try and watch it.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
can discuss.
Careful, Cleo. Okay. Anyway, we will see you next week, and we love you, and we hope you enjoyed this episode.
Until then, love you, Mom, if you're watching. No, please don't.
Oh my God. If my mom's watching, don't bring this up to me. Okay. Love
Bye.
you.